You are Locked On Dodgers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
That is a huge win for the boys in blue right there. I am Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. 8-6 the final. Tommy Edman, the man of the night, but there is a lot to get into here. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, of course, is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use the code, all lowercase, LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, the Locked On Dodgers Postcast available for you on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done, and wherever you download your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. I am Pete Fox, your host, covering sports in LA, dating back to 2007. Dodgers on a really awesome hot roll right now. They have won 4 in a row and 5 of their last 6, just the one loss to open the series against the Orioles. That increases the lead in the West now for the boys in blue to 6 games. Here is what is amazing to me about this win. I want to say 90% of the bullpen was off limits tonight. They were going to dance with who brung you, and they did, and it all worked out for them. Like, everything was set up for them to just kind of chalk this up to say, well, you know what? It wasn't in the cards tonight. We couldn't run a lot of these guys out there because they all pitched last night to, relieve Clayton Kershaw, who left after just 1 inning. So they put Kershaw on the IL today. They put Joe Kelly on the IL today with shoulder inflammation. And you have to wonder, is that directly related to him throwing 46 pitches yesterday? If it is, I'm like, come on, dude. Muscle up a little bit. Really? You can't throw 46 pitches? I know it's been 8 years since you've done that, but like enough to where you have to go on the IL? I don't know. Like that's kind of, I don't use this term very often, but that's weak sauce if you asked me. Maybe he hurt himself. I don't know. It seemed like he was doing okay. We got a little critical of him last night, but he's on the IL. So they had to bring up 2 guys, and both of those guys got in the game tonight. Brett Honeywell, who looked good, 2 innings, no hits, gave up a run and 2 walks, struck out 2. And then Kasparius made his major league debut. And I'll tell you what I like about this guy, just the way he looks. The second this dude comes out on the mound, you feel confident. You're like, yes. That's what a closer should look like if you asked me. The pants are way too tight. The thighs are way too large. I mean, just looks like a big, muscular, beefy dude. I'm like, yes, I like this guy already before he even threw a ball. And then he came out, threw up zeros across the board. 12 pitches, no strikeouts, but made it through 1 inning with no damage at all. And then fortunately, Evan Phillips did not make any of us need an Evan Williams. Went out there for his 18th save because he did not pitch last night and closed it down. Zeros across the board, 10 pitches. So the Dodger bullpen and starting staff, I mean, Gavin Stone survived 5 after getting punched around left, right, and center in the first inning. Made it through 5, gave up 5 runs on 5 hits, but struck out 4. And after that ugly first inning, 5 of 6 reached, then 1 runner in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That is getting it back on track. So that is fantastic to see. This was an A+ pitching performance aside from that first inning for the Dodgers. Now, of course, I am burying the lead because that is a huge part of this win for the Dodgers. I don't necessarily think it's why they won the game. I want to say the offense is what won this game for the Dodgers. I mean, obviously it's both. You need both of these parts working in tandem to win a game. But the fact that the Dodgers went back to back to back to start the game was awesome. I mean, that was just so like, what just happened? That was probably what everyone in the stands at Chase Field was saying too. What just happened? Shohei, home run number 44, 420 feet on a 2-2 curve. Then Mookie Betts on an 0-1 slider, 400 feet. And then Freddie Freeman, first pitch swinging 437 feet. Joe Davis and Orioles were so excited, they didn't bother to start counting pitches. They said 3 home runs on 3 pitches, which is technically true. Yes, it took a pitch to hit the home run. So it was 3 home runs on 3 pitches. It was not 3 consecutive pitches. And I was surprised. I had to double and triple check because Joe is very, very infrequently wrong. But he was wrong tonight. It was not 3 pitches. Shohei had it was the 9th pitch for Shohei. Then Mookie on an 0-1 slider. So he was off by 1 pitch. And then Freddie on the first pitch. So that was really awesome to see, and you're like, okay, this is cool. What a way to start a game. I'm loving this. And then they turn right around and fall down 4-3. You're like, oh, that was fun while it lasted. That's like, finding a bag of money and then realizing that it's Monopoly money or something. You're like, oh, well, it's cool that the offense got started early again. We know that they've struggled after the 4th. Fortunately tonight, again, not an issue. 1 in the 5th and 2 in the 9th, thanks to Tommy Edman. That was a fantastic 9th inning for the Dodgers. That is something that playoff teams have in their DNA. That is something that playoff teams are made of. The ability in a tie game to manufacture a run, come out and get it done, which is what they did in the 9th. Here's how it went. Will Smith, not really manufactured because there was all base hits. Will Smith got on with a single, 2 strikes. You're going to see a theme here. Lux, single up the middle, 2 strikes. Then a nice piece of hitting from Miggy, which should have been the go-ahead RBI, but that Guillermo made just an amazing highlight reel web gem there with the infield pulled in to snag that line drive from Miggy. I mean, ball down and away, reached out and poked it right up. I mean, it was a perfect piece of hitting from Miggy Rojas. And that Guillermo guy was, I mean, he's not a big, tall dude. I don't know how he snagged that. He stretched himself out like Stretch Armstrong or something to make that play. So that was like, oh, so close. Come on. And then here comes Tommy Edman, a 2 RBI dink to right field. As Oral Hershiser described it, a dying quail. Orlando, this is good baseball. I agree. Rallying is fun. Orlando also loves rallies. Who doesn't? I mean, the fact that they battled back, rallying in the 9th, 8-6 win for number 82 versus 54 losses, 37-30 on the road. The lead in the West now, 6 games over the D-backs. Let's see. Don't know what the Padres did. They could still be playing. 6 over the Padres as well. But either way, that's a nice, comfortable lead. And as I put it last night, I feel like at this point, you're playing with house money on this series. If they split, no harm, no foul coming into this series, or leaving this series, rather. Obviously, it would be nice to take the series 3 out of 4 tomorrow, or a sweep. Oh, my gosh, that would be amazing, just to shut the Diamondbacks up. Because they have been loud. They look, they're the best offensive run producing team in baseball. The Dodgers are second. Let's not overlook that fact, but they are a gritty team. Their bullpen, it seemed like I've heard a lot of good things about the bullpen, just, in the sports world for the Diamondbacks. But I feel like the trend that's going on with their bullpen that Joe Davis kept referring to last night and tonight was this guy was really hot and then has been bad, but recently through this run has started to get it back on track. So that's kind of what's going on with this bullpen, which is what we saw from them. We'll get into the Diamondbacks bullpen after the break because, yeah, it was not great. And the Dodgers definitely took advantage of what was dealt to them tonight. And the fact that that starter, what was his name, Caleb or something, remained in there as long as he did, the way the Dodgers roughed him up in the first inning, you should tip your hat to that guy as well. So a good outing by both starters. No, not Merrill Kelly. He gave up 4 earned, 6 total on 10 hits and still survived 5 1/3 and was mad when they pulled him out of the game. They went through 5 pitchers. Manaply came in, had a good outing. Ginkel did not get an out, surrendered 1 hit and walked 2 before he got the heave-ho. AJ Puck, that guy, that guy is dominant, and that beard is scary looking. I don't want to face that guy ever again. Big, tall lefty who can deal it. 16 pitches, struck out 2, surrendered 1 hit. Thompson, 2 runs on 3 hits, and then Martinez gave up that hit in the 9th to Edman, which would ultimately be the decider for the Dodgers, but it was charged to Thompson. Kind of a bit surprising because Martinez is their closer and was throwing it triple digits, but then made a mistake, and Edman took advantage of it. So congratulations to him. Dodgers with an 8-6 win. They've now won 4 in a row and taken 2 in this series against the Diamondbacks. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. You can also listen on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Wherever you find your podcast, that's where you'll also find Jeff and Vince doing the Locked On Daily podcast for the Dodgers Monday through Friday. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, all you have to do is play against the numbers. You pick more or less on 2 to 6 players and their stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even have to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. And 1 Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on Prize Picks every week in the month of September. That's right. Only 1 yard out of Caleb Williams, the new Chicago Bears quarterback, is an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss the deal on Prize Picks because it's gone when September ends. Players and stat types, all of the stuff you were selecting is there. The deposits are easy. The withdrawals are hassle-free, something that I really enjoyed when I first signed up. It's very easy to get involved with Prize Picks. And don't forget, with the regular season of football right around the corner, you got to get your season-long projections in for the NFL as well. And download the Prize Picks app today and use that code LOCKEDONMLB and get $50 instantly when you play 5. That's Locked On MLB. Prize Picks is the app. Get $50 instantly when you play $5, and you don't even have to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. All right, Dodgers with a really, really nice win tonight. One that almost feels like they stole because their pitching was so limited that, you felt like if they lost, we could all just sit here and chalk it up to the fact that 8 people from the bullpen went out there yesterday. I looked up and down the roster in the bullpen, and there wasn't anybody available except for the guys that pitched today. So again, I don't always understand why you can't run somebody out there 2 days in a row. They throw 1 inning, they throw under 20 pitches. Doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but I am not the manager, nor am I in charge of baseball personnel decisions with the Dodgers. So they do what they're going to do. And one of those things tonight that I didn't love was pinch hitting Kike Hernandez for Max Muncy, who was hot. Max Muncy had a really, really nice game. 2 for 2, on base 3 times, had an RBI, a run scored, didn't strike out once. So he was dialed. He was locked. They go get Kike because of this statistic, this sabermetric that they were loving, had their arms wrapped around. Kike Hernandez in the month of August versus left-handed pitchers, and he was facing that AJ Puck guy, the Mennonite. batting 381 versus left-handed pitchers in the month of August. So Kike is dialed in against lefties, struck out on 3 pitches. Max Muncy could have done that. What are your thoughts? Good call, bad call? You like the idea of pulling him because of the 381 average, or do you stick with somebody who's hot? This is old school versus new school. For me, my eyes tell me Max Muncy's having a good game. I don't care what hand the guy on the mound throws the ball with, because he made Kike look dumb, right? Kike did not look good. Now Kike's hitting the ball. He's definitely had a very hot month. So it's not a horrible call. But I know what's happened already. Max Muncy has had a good game. Max Muncy is locked in tonight, right? Why take him out? I always harken back to this. You're not pulling Shohei out when they put in a left-handed hitter. You're going to leave him in there. I don't know. Cole says horrible call. Craig says bad call. So we got 2 votes in favor of leave Max Muncy in there. Frank says it makes sense. It didn't work, but it makes sense. Okay, fair point. You must be new school. I'm old school. I like to look and see what my eyes tell me. And that tells me that Kike did not start the game. We didn't need to put him in there. Max Muncy could have gone up there and struck out on 3 pitches as well. So, Sir Joe says, I don't want to see these guys in the postseason. They don't have Walker or Marte for this series. Maybe a different outcome if they were in the lineup. Yes and no, Sir Joe. Here's the thing. Those guys have not been in the lineup since the All-Star break, when the Diamondbacks are the best team in baseball. Doesn't make any sense. Completely illogical. But that's what's been going on with them. You'd like to think logic again, your eyes would tell you that having Marte and Walker back in there is only going to make them better. I don't see how it could hurt them, but they've done all of this without him, or them rather. So who knows? Who knows? It could go either way. It probably would make them a better team, but I don't know. I feel like they've gotten to this point being this second half team that is red hot, playing subpar opponents. They haven't played the Dodgers. They've been playing the Rockies and the Rays and the Tigers and all these sub 500 teams. And look what happens. I mean, obviously these two games so far have been fantastic, like nail biting postseason energy. So it's been fantastic. It's been fun to watch. And I'm excited about the fact that the Dodgers are showing up. This is a measuring stick for them, like that Yankees series was during the summer, June. This is a measuring stick for the Dodgers to say, where are we right now? Yes, we have the best record in baseball, but are we the best team in baseball? Hard to say. The Diamondbacks and Padres are right there nipping at their heels. Dodgers take the first 2 in Arizona. That's a statement. That's huge. I love it. Here's tonight's Diamond Dogs list. Obviously the first 3 pretty easy. I wasn't even, comfortable before this happened. Shohei Ohtani, home run number 44. It went 420 feet. It was on a 2-2 curveball. Mookie Betts right on his tail. Home run number 14 for him. It was on an 0-1 slider. That made it 2-0. And then Freddie Freeman, first pitch swinging, 437 feet for Freddie. That's not the kind of home runs that Freddie usually hits. That was a bomb from Freddie Freeman. He had a great day. 3 hits for him. And then for number 2, Freddie, an RBI single in the second, gave the lead back to the Dodgers. 5-4 for number 1A. A 2-out RBI single for Max Muncy made it 6-5. He knocked in Gavin Lux, who had a 2-out double to right in the 5th. Teoscar Hernandez, a leadoff double in the 7th. That was nice to see. And then Tommy Edman, the game-changing play of the game, a 2 RBI dinker in the 9th to right field to give the Dodgers an 8-6 lead, which they would hold on to thanks to Evan Phillips, who came in and slammed the door. So a fantastic win to take the first 2 in Arizona at Chase Field in front of a sold-out Chase Field. Diamondback fans are crying in their beer right now. What is happening? We're the best team in baseball. Not tonight, you're not. And the Dodgers are now comfortably 6 games ahead. So, again, playing with house money. You split this series, you're still 4 games up, which is nice. Good place to be. Let's hope that does not happen. We need a win tomorrow. I like the pitching matchup tomorrow, a 110 start. Sadly, I won't be here. I have USC Trojans starting their season tomorrow in Vegas, so I will not be covering that game for you. Apologies now. So you're on your own after that one. It's Robo versus, is it Fat or Fot? I think it's Fod. Fot. It's like fart with a lazy Boston R. Fot. Pfaadt. Fat. It should be Fat. Like that's, if my name is spelled like that, I'm like, call me fat. I'm fat. That dude's fat. I know that's an 80s term, and you guys are like, what are you talking about? But Robo has been good for the Dodgers as well. Let's take the final break. When we come back, we'll get into the details of Freddie Freeman's night. Freddie Freeman was fantastic tonight, and we'll break that down for you. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. And thanks for listening on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. That's where you find Jeff and Vince doing the daily Dodgers podcast. You make them your first listen, then you come here right after the game for your second listen, and we appreciate you everydayers making us your source for your team every day. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Liquid IV. You guys probably think I'm kidding when I say I've been at Costco 4 days in a row. I'm not kidding. I was at Costco again today, and a different Costco. So I've been at 3 different Costcos in the last 4 days. And this Costco had, you know how usually at my Costco, you enter on the left and you exit on the right. This one had it backwards. So when I walked in, I did not see the Liquid IV right by the door, but I did see it not far from the door. So Costco still has it. Every Costco I've been to, they have it in a different place, which is surprising. But when you're taking in America's pastime, don't forget to hydrate with Liquid IV. Popsicle firecracker flavor, a surefire summer hit. I tell you, it does sound tantalizing. Get hydrated with electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powdered hydration brand in America, because baseball and summer go together like Liquid IV and indulgent hydration. Blast off with that iconic summer flavor of Popsicle Firecracker. The flavors involved are a festive blend of citrus-fueled lemon, lime, tart, cherry, and raspberry flavors. But if that is not your jam and you want something a little more mild, maybe some lemon lime or pina colada or acai berry, tear, pour with 1 stick and 16 ounces of water. You hydrate yourself better than water alone. It's powered by Live Hydra Science, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and let's be honest, most of us don't get enough vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration, 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, and 8 essential vitamins and nutrients. No more thirsty summers when you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. And if you go to their website and you're not at Costco every day like me, just go to the liquidiv.com website and use the code MLB. You'll get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV. That's liquidiv.com, and use the code MLB at checkout. 20% off your first order when you shop better hydration today using the promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. All right, Dodgers an 8-6 win. They jumped out 3-0 on back-to-back jacks. That's why announcers love back-to-back home runs, because we can say back-to-back jacks. And it's even more fun to say back-to-back jacks, which is what we had tonight. And feeling very confident after the first inning. But that was a short-lived feeling, because Gavin Stone would give up 4 in the bottom, and the Dodgers would fall behind. Fortunately, they would answer back to take a 5-4 lead, thanks to Freddie Freeman, one of his 3 hits on the night. Obviously, the home run in the first, all over it. First pitch swinging. I mean, that was a absolute left, right, left combo to Merrill Kelly's mug to start the game. Somehow they kept him in there. He managed 5 1/3, gave up 4 earned on 10 hits, 6 runs in total, 3 home runs. And, I guess you have to give the guy credit for being resilient. But Freddie with 3 hits, all of them key, important hits for the Dodgers tonight. The homer in the first, single to center in the second. He flied out in the fourth, flied out in the seventh, and then in the eighth, single to center, scoring Betts. So 3 RBI on 3 hits. That's a good feeling to have when Freddie Freeman is locked in. As far as Shohei's night, obviously the home run makes him a 44-43 man. And let's not forget, no one's ever done that before. Last night, home run and a stolen base, no stolen bases for him tonight. So he was 43-43 last night. No one's ever been in that territory. So tonight, 1 for 5, a run scored, 2 RBI at the home run to lead off the game. So does he get to 50-50? It feels like he's going to. I mean, the stolen base part of it for him is not an issue. I feel like the home run thing is also kind of not an issue. So I'm awaiting 50-50. We are definitely on the 50-50 watch, though. He's batting .293, OBP of 377, a slug of 622. So the OPS well over 1,000. Mookie Betts 1 for 5 tonight, the homer. And that would be it for him as far as his production, but that's enough. 2 Ks. Freddie Freeman, as we mentioned, 3 hits, 2 RBI. I thought he had 3. Teoscar 1 for 5. Will Smith 2 for 4. So he picked up where he left off last night. The big 3-run homer last night. Gavin Lux, another 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Nice hitting tonight at the plate. He was locked in. Max Muncy, a pair of hits. Miggy Rojas, a pair of hits. Max and Miggy were back-to-back all night getting on base. Kevin Kiermaier batted twice, was 0 for. Tommy Edman, 2 hits. And Austin Barnes got into the game defensively, but did not get an at-bat. So all in all, the offense showed up. The defense showed up. The pitching was fantastic after the first inning, and that's all you need, right? Let's hope they keep it rolling. Again, tomorrow I will be doing USC Trojans on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel and on the Locked On Trojans podcast feed as they open their regular season in Las Vegas against the LSU Tigers. And then I'll be back for the finale, a 1:00 start on Monday. Robo will get the start tomorrow for the Dodgers, who look for 5 in a row. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Sunday. Thanks for joining me here on the Locked On Dodgers postcast. Have a good night. We will talk on Monday.